Hi everyone, how's everyone doing today? I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite food?
Hi, my favorite food is pizza. It's super yummy and I love it a lot.
That's great. I think pizza is very yummy too. Me personally, I would say that I really like Chinese rice or any other type of Asian rice. I think it's very yummy. So, another follow up question. If you were to guess what a ferret's favorite food would be, what would you say it was?
I think a ferret's favorite food might be something like fruits or maybe nuts because they're super curious and love little treats.
That's a great answer. I think that they would really like sweet things too. How about a blue jay?
Oh, I think a blue jay would probably love seeds and nuts and maybe even some berries because they like to snack on all kinds of yummy things too.
Yes, I think they would like to eat some snacks too. How about an axolotl?
Oh, an axolotl would probably love little worms or tiny bits of shrimp because they love those squishy, tasty treats.
Yes, I would say that too. They look like they really like worms. A friend of mine actually said that they would probably like gummy worms if they were to eat like real food that humans eat. Okay, class. So your guesses were actually very close. Ferrets are carnivores, so they usually like to eat meat like chicken or other small animals. Blue jays do like seeds, but they also eat little insects like worms and such. And axolotls also eat worms, if you would believe it. So, today's topic is going to be the food chain. So, who can tell me what they've heard about the food chain or what do they think the food chain is?
Ooh, the food chain is really cool. It's like a big circle of who eats whom in nature. So, for example, a plant gets eaten by a little insect, and then that insect might get eaten by a bird, and so on. It's like a big, amazing puzzle of nature.
Yes, you're actually really close. So actually, the food chain is basically a sequence that shows us how the energy and nutrients are transferred from one animal to another or from one organism to another. So it shows us basically how all the food will be flowing in a constant circle, right? So each level of the food chain, as you can see here, is called a trophic level. So we're going to see the elements of them. So first off, the first element of the food chain would be the sun. Okay, so this is our main source of energy. All energy from the food chain will come from the sun. So the sun will then give light and energy to the producers, which are the second element of the food chain. Producers are mainly plants or maybe plankton too. So this means that all the sea algae too. These are all organisms that can photosynthesize, right? So these are the second elements of the food chain. Now, the next level are the consumers. So consumers are divided into subtypes, alright? So we have first the primary consumers, which are all animals that are herbivores because they are eating the producers, right? So all your chicken, all your some insects too, they would be primary consumers because they are eating only plants. Next, we have secondary consumers, which are all the other consumers that usually eat primary consumers. So, for example, we have cats over here, which are carnivores. We also have some parasites, are also secondary consumers. Insectivores are actually also secondary consumers because they eat insects. And also scavenger animals. So this means that animals that wait for other animals to die and they eat their corpses and stuff. It's kind of gross actually. Okay, so the next element are decomposers. So when a consumer dies or another element of the food chain dies, these are the ones in charge of breaking everything down and taking all the nutrients from it. So obviously other consumers can eat food when it's gotten bad, right? So someone has to do something about it. So most decomposers can be fungi or bacteria, but also some worms and other animals can act as decomposers. So these guys are in charge of making the soil rich and filled with nutrients so that the producers can start growing again and the cycle is completed. So now class, you're going to help me identify which elements of the food chain we're talking about, right? Okay, so first up we have the sun, which I think we all know what element of the food chain it is. And then we have a plant. So what element is a plant?
The plant is a producer because it uses the sun's energy to make its own food.
Yes, that's great. So next we have a little bug, a caterpillar.
The caterpillar is a primary consumer because it eats the plants.
Yes, and now we have a blue jay. What would happen with the blue jay?
The blue jay is a secondary consumer because it eats insects and sometimes other small animals.
Yes, now we have a falcon.
The falcon is a tertiary consumer because it eats other animals, like the blue jay.
Yes, that's great. And now we have mushrooms and bacteria.
Mushrooms and bacteria are decomposers because they break down dead material and recycle nutrients back into the soil.
So yes, as you said, the plant will be eaten by the caterpillar will be eaten by the blue jay will be eaten by the falcon, and then the mushroom and bacteria will break it down so the cycle can go again. Okay, so now we're going to have some brief participations. Who can tell me what sea algae is in the food chain?
Sea algae are producers because they use sunlight to make their own food.
Yes, that's great. How about a snail?
A snail is the primary consumer because it eats plants or algae.
Yes, that's a great answer. Actually, snails can also be decomposers, so any of that, so either answer would be correct. But yeah, they are also consumers. What about a flapjack octopus?
A flapjack octopus is a carnivore, so it would be a secondary or even a tertiary consumer, and it eats other small animals.
Yes, that's great. Okay, so what about a harp seal?
A harp seal is a producer because it eats plants all the time.
Well, you're very close, but no, not really. A harp seal is actually a consumer. It could be secondary or tertiary because they usually eat other animals like fish. But close enough. What about a sea cucumber?
I'm not entirely sure about the exact role of a sea cucumber in the food chain. It's a bit tricky.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky because it looks like a plant and it's called a sea cucumber, so you would think it would be a producer, right? But actually no, it's a consumer because it eats little plankton and other small organisms that live underwater. Okay class, so to close things up, I would like to ask you a question. What do you think would happen if we take someone out? Like, what about Mrs. Caterpillar? What if we take her out of the food chain?
If we take the caterpillar out, then the birds and other animals that eat the caterpillar would have less food, and the plants would grow a bit more because there'd be fewer caterpillars munching on them. It would definitely change the balance a bit.
Yes, and this is actually very, very dangerous because if we take the caterpillar out, the plants will grow a lot. So other animals that will feed from the plants will grow more, like the population will grow. And on the other side, the animals that feed on caterpillars will not be able to eat them. So either the population will go down or they will try to look elsewhere for more food sources. This actually will make it a problem for everyone else in the environment and it will be catastrophic. So this could even drive some species to extinction. So it would be very dangerous. So who can tell me 3 things that they learned in this class?
First, the sun is the main source of energy for the food chain. Second, plants are producers because they make their own food from sunlight. And third, decomposers like fungi and bacteria help break down dead material and recycle nutrients back into the soil.
Yes, I think you got the main points of our lesson. So thank you class for your attention, and I hope that you can see that all the elements of nature are really, really important. And even if we might think that well, maybe caterpillars, if they go extinct, it won't matter because they are tiny, but this actually will have a great effect on everyone. So thank you for your attention.